Hey guys, welcome to part 7 of Let's Play Daxter on the PSP. In the last episode we went to the strip mine and essentially did some busy work. We gathered some crystals for someone, there were bugs there, which I guess justifies why we showed up, because really that's all we're kind of doing at the moment. So now we have been told by the random lady we met that we've got to go back here because she fixed our hover future vehicle that can fly. That's the one. And again, pretty much doing more busy work. So we'll just go past Osmo there. He seems to be happy with all the customers being very busy. Don't really know what he's looking at. So let's just move on. He seems to be preoccupied with whatever he's doing. So yeah, so we actually get to go back to Breezy Valley. And first thing we'll see is, look! Hooray! She got rid of the sheet. She actually did fix it all up. Who knew? But yeah, the first thing you're going to notice is that it's exactly the same as it was before. This level... Oh, hold on. What's going on here? These bugs are infected. Find and spray all of them. Yeah, there's just some random bugs that are infected. Even though we're meant to be exterminating bugs, these bugs are the good bugs. I don't know. I think it's like good and bad bacteria. If it's purple, then it's bad and you got to spray it and kill it, but otherwise it helps your heart and just makes you live longer. Yeah, but you'll notice that this is exactly the same. This game does use a lot of levels twice, but in general what it will do, because this level is really Breezy Valley 2, but it's not, because as you can see we got the same number of precursor orbs, this is the exact same location. No real difference between this and the original, or the first time we were here. So yeah, so this is, I think, the only time that the game does this. But again, in the future we will be returning to the same locations, the levels will just be different. It's only this one where it's the same, which is a bit lame. And also a bit odd. Look, when you spray them, it's like you collect them. Which is a little odd, because all you're doing is killing the things on the back, but apparently that's a collectible. It goes shooting up and there you go. But yeah, that's all you gotta do, you just gotta find them and spray them. For some reason, there's a time limit. Really don't know why there's a time limit. It's like, we got time. It's fine. These bugs can take it, they've been here for a while, we can take an extra few minutes to do this. But yeah, if you don't do it in time then you fail. But it is completely arbitrary, like, there's no reason for it. And it's weird because it makes it feel structured like the first time we were here. Like, even in terms of structure, they don't really seem to mix things up here. It does mean that if you want, you can find all the precursor orbs that you would have missed, because there probably was some that you missed. I missed 5, there's one over there. I'm actually going to grab that if I can. No, I guess I have to go round. Might as well grab it while I'm here. And I saw another 2 off the ramp. But I can't really waste time on that. I'm meant to be bloody killing purple fuzzy bugs. That's what I'm meant to be doing. Okay, cool. When he says that, once again, exactly like the last time we were here, we get told exactly where these bugs are. Because it's quite cool, because once you save these bugs, they don't disappear. Like the normal bugs just be like, oh, that was weird. I was just being eaten by some random purple thing, someone sprayed me with green stuff, and now I'm all better. So they just kind of continue going on, so if you can't find the last ones, you probably won't do it before you get told where they are. The queens are back. Find them all. No exclamation points, no enthusiasm, no like, oh no, the queens are back. That seemed a little bit too to the point and factual. Like, yeah, the queens are back, that is something that has happened, and we must now deal with it accordingly. Like, the last time it was a big deal. The last time, when it was a plant, when it was that big plant, the guy was like, or Osmo was all like, Daxter, you gotta save the plant, it's dying, and there was like a sense of urgency. But now that it's just, the queens are back, it's like, yep, you've been playing this game for over an hour or whatever, the queens are back. So just like last time, all you gotta do is find the queen and drive straight into them, but you don't have to do it 3 times. This isn't a boss fight. All you gotta do is just ram right into them, and that pretty much takes care of the job. One thing that's pretty good to do is that the queens will wait in certain locations for you. Well, let's go grab these orbs while we're here. Yeah, they will wait in certain locations. So as you can see, that queen is just flying back and forth. So if you type... Oh no, it's not. Okay. See, there we go. Now it's just waiting. So if you do this correctly, what you can do... Oh no, it's moving. Huh. I swear this does happen. Some of the times the queens will just hover in one place. Like, they only seem to really properly move once you're chasing them. But for some reason this one isn't doing it and the other one isn't doing it. I don't quite know why. Because last time when I did this, all I did is just wait for them to stop and then charge right into them. And that works really well. You can get them before they even start going and you don't actually have to chase them. But this one isn't doing it for some reason. And I don't know how this is encountered. I could spit on it from this distance. Come on. Because you don't actually... I don't think when you kill them that you actually hit them properly. All you do is just kind of get close to them and then they just kind of get like, ah, you're gross. You're a species that isn't real. I'm just going to explode, I guess. See, look at this. I can... The bug spray doesn't do anything. You just got to be patient. Come on. Oh. See, you're either going to have a really easy time doing this, or you're going to do what I'm doing and just look like an idiot.
She's pretty quick. Try cutting her off when she turns.
I will try and cut her off when she turns, I guess. Right, I'm going to go after this guy. Or queen. Gal, I mean. That's what I meant, of course. With this one, I find it's better to chase it in this pattern, because if you try and... I heard you. I absolutely heard you. Come on, that was cool. And... Come on. Oh, so close. I think it's going to go right at some point. Here we go. Here we go. This is it. This is it right here. Nope. Nope, not at all. I think this one's the hardest one, because you got to go all the way up here. And there's no real corners that you can cut. All you have to do is like just stick to the inside track and hope for the best. But again, it's more like that it won't... Look, I'm so close! I'm so close! That didn't count, apparently. That was me just not even being close enough to kill it. Right, let's cut the corner. Boom. And for some reason, these queens get quite an epic death. For some reason. Like, exploding is pretty cool. It's quite epic. But the music stops and you get a little cutscene of the queen exploding, which I don't think is really necessary. Like, the dialogue was all like, the queen is back, find them all. It doesn't actually say kill them, it actually just says find them, which is... Again, we have to kill them, make them explode, but it doesn't specify. But yeah, like that dialogue was all relaxed about it, but when the queen dies, like, oh, now it's a big deal. Now they get their own little cutscene showing their death. Okay, there's the last one. See, it does seem to be going slower. I swear, I'm not a crazy person. See, look, it's not really putting its all into it, really. Okay, so I failed at killing this one before. This time, not messing around. Because now I just got to memorize the route and just hope for the best. Because you can do this without memorizing the route they take. You just got to be a bit good. That's the trick. And that's it. That's the mission. No story mission or, you know, nothing to do with the story. You're just going to have to do that. There's two reasons why I think this level exists. Because, you know, it is a little lazy. On face value, you look at it and think, come on guys, you didn't really need to make us come back to the same level and do an arbitrary task with arbitrary time limits and arbitrary enemies. Yeah, a little bit arbitrary, but there's two reasons why I think this is here. The first one is because it is different in terms of gameplay, so it does actually mix things up. Again, we're doing the same thing as we were before, but it breaks up the platforming, which I think is something that Ready at Dawn probably really focused on. You know, keeping up the pace and making sure there's variety. And the second reason is that something changes. It's not going to happen in this part, but that's the first kind of you're just killing bugs, not much is happening mission, or that's the last one. think I said last. In my head I said last. But yeah, that's the last one of those. We are actually going to move on to some bigger, more important stuff, but we're not going to do that in this episode because you may have noticed, I haven't referenced it, but we have been unlocking more secrets and collecting more precursor orbs. So we have 249. So if we go onto the bed, we now have 2 more of these to do. So we're going to end off this part by doing them, of course. Right, so this game is very similar to The Matrix 1, but instead of having people come at you from all angles, we just have people coming at them, you know, like this. This one, in some ways, is easier, because with The Matrix 1, like I said, it's a little hard to get the timing right, and sometimes you're just going to press it early. With this one, the prompt actually goes green when it's okay to hit it. So all you got to do is wait for the prompt to go green, press the button, and then you do it correctly. You're not going to do it too early, which is really nice. I don't know why this one does it, but the last Matrix minigame didn't. That was a little odd. I guess to make it harder without actually making it harder? I don't know. It was the first one after all, so I'll forgive it. But in case you don't know, this is Braveheart. So I haven't seen Braveheart. I hear it's really good. It's meant to be one of those kind of classic films that people like. Not like a critical classic, but just one that people really seem to like and enjoy. I've never seen it. I don't know if I watched it today, I don't know if I actually would enjoy it. You know, it does seem like one of those. Like, it's been too long. I didn't see it as a kid. It's probably aged. There's the quote from the film. Probably wouldn't get into it. But definitely worth doing that, because look, more health. And we are going to need it. Because this is one of those games where different enemies do different amounts of damage. So, as we've already seen, some of the enemies already do 2 chunks off our health. So it's definitely worth doing that to get the max health upgrade. It'll just save you some, you know, a little bit of frustration later down the road. So we have one more that we can do, another film parody. So let's jump in. So here we have my favourite Daxter. This is Lord of the Rings, and this is Helm's Deep at the end of Two Towers, and we're playing as Gimli, but Daxter as Gimli. I think this is definitely my favourite design out of all of them. Like, you know, the Braveheart one's pretty cool. It's quite funny to see him in the trench coat from The Matrix. I won't spoil what the other movie parodies are, we'll get to those. But I think this one has to be my favourite, because it's so stupid. And it fits so well! For some reason, Daxter looks like a natural dwarf. Who knew? I know he's quite short, but there's no reason why this should make sense. None at all. So what this is a bit different to the last one. I have to actually go to one of these 4 ladders, and then I have to wait for the creatures to come up high enough, and then it will tell me what button I need to press. I mean, in the review of this, I kind of complained about these a little bit, and said they're a bit weak. I still stand by that, but they are so charming, and they did put in a lot of effort into these. Like, this one, we got a little cutscene showing, like, the whole big battle, and they put so much effort into it, and Daxter looks adorable. That it's like, gameplay wise, sure, it kind of drops the ball a little bit, but as a way of getting upgrades, you know, if you view it as a way to get more upgrades, it's better than just collecting a load of arbitrary, I should stop saying that word, a load of just generic, there you go, a load of generic collectibles and then trading them in. Like, you do have to do that, we have to get the precursor orbs, but then we're treated to this adorable little film parody with little Daxter and his hammer for some reason. I don't know why he has a hammer. Gimli didn't have a hammer, but Gimli Daxter apparently does. I don't know. So neither of these are too difficult. This one can catch you out because you have to wait until the button prompt comes up. So it's very easy to just see it and then press something else. I mean, that time I didn't do it. The only one I missed was when someone, you know, one of them was just too quick. But that's what could mess you up.
That was deep.
Get it? That was deep. Because it's Helm's Deep. It's a parody. It's fun. So for that, we didn't get another max health upgrade, unfortunately, but we did get this. There we go. Now he can kind of swell. A bit like, you know, he can do this, but you just do this. Not that useful, if I'm being honest. Not a move that I will really be using, because tapping square and using the bug spray is effective enough. But it's still nice that it's there, if you want to kind of start using it. I'm sure some people that play that game, or this game, have found some really effective use of using this. But personally, I just don't or won't be using it. So with that, I'm going to end off the part. So next time in Let's Play Daxter on the PSP, we're going to advance the story, because we actually didn't do any story stuff this part. Well, we did a story mission, but nothing changed story-wise. Some queens got killed. We got a beard. So I've been Onstorm23. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.